Guys, we are back for another one. Taking a little break, man, for our usual stuff. That Case A&B 2018 series. We're going to bust into this 2019 IMP, which is menu number 19, lamb and vegetable stew. I expect this to taste very, very yummy. This was sent in by my buddy Bill Hughes. Bill, I tried to send you an email. Send me an awesome note, man, all nice and printed out right up until your email address, and then it got all handwritten, and man, sometimes my old eyes, I just can't. I don't know. Anyway, I tried to send you an email back thanking you, but let's bust into this thing and see what we got. An alligator said, anytime you want to send some more of those duck treats, feel free. Well, let's stop screwing around. Let's get into this thing. We'll just take our nice little Gerber dime, cut into the back. That way we're not tearing everything up. All right, at the top, you can see one of everybody's favorites with IMPs, the Good Coffee Crisp. A hamburger bun, tropical trail mix, Tic Tacs, the lamb and vegetable stew. You can see those ingredients right there and the nutrition facts. And the one thing I really love about the Canadian military is they use an actual 5-digit day code, so you know the exact year. So this was made in 2018 on the 200 and what is that? 89th day. Beef jerky. Some people absolutely hate this stuff, but if you rip this thing open and just let it sit in your mouth and let it absorb some of that saliva, soften up, this stuff tastes so good. Get some peanut butter and jam. It's raspberry jam. 2 grape drinks. Each one of these make like 250 milliliters, so together it is a half a liter of drink. Again, you get the napkin, you get the high-speed spork. These are awesome. A 3-in-1 Nescafe, pack and matches, hot beverage bag, some Tabasco sauce, this awesome compressed towelette, and the last thing that's in this bag, it says it's dessert, but it's usually a fruit component. And what does that say? Sliced apples. Again, there's the nutrition facts and what is inside of it. Well, let's get this stuff heated up, drinks made, all that stuff, and let's get some stuff onto a tray. And just a reminder, we have another one of those. Actually, we'll slide that right over there. And our tropical trail mix. And these things are packed notoriously dense. Some people actually call these jawbreakers. Ugh. And you can see, man, when they vacuum bond these, they don't screw around with their vacuum bonding. And I can also inform you, these make really good dog treats. Dogs super love these things. When you can get them out of the package, that is. God bless. And, wow, that can be an ordeal. In fact, they smell so good, I've already got alligator near me going, hey, what's that? What is that? Then we won't forget our jam or our peanut butter. We are running out of some room. Don't forget our apples. Kind of makes it a pain. I've still got all of that teriyaki oils on my fingers. Makes things a little difficult. Total fan of this, having actual nice wet packed fruit inside of a ration. And then of course lastly, our lamb and vegetable stew. This is very toasty. I'm expecting some nice smokage coming out of this thing. Man, that is hot. That is hot. That is hot. Very liquidy for a stew. I would actually want that to be just a little more thicker, so it looks like it's kind of a soup. But there are tricks to thicken it up. Of course, you could use some of your hamburger bun, tear it up nice and small and add it, or if you have crackers or whatever, anything you can to just add some body just to thicken that up just a little bit. Well, let's not screw around. Let's give this a try. Of course, you see some carrot, got some pea, of course, chunks of lamb. Let's try to get a piece of carrot in there too. Very soupy. Let's give it a go while it's dripping hot into my hand. Holy crap, that's hot. Wow. Well, I'm going to take a pull of this. I just seriously burned my tongue. At least that's got a nice grapey flavor. Very hot. The lamb is actually legit lamb. It's not processed. It's not anything. You can taste like the stringy striations of the grain of the lamb. Very tasty. It is just toasty, toasty hot. See some of the veggies right there as I'm dumping all over my workstation. It's like a hearty kind of beefy brown sauce. It's very loose, very runny. I'll try to see if I can find what's inside of this. It also says there's potato and onion in here. I guess there's a little potato. Good luck finding the onion. I guess the onion's probably pulverized powder. One thing it does miss, it doesn't have like that little salty, savory component that you would like to add an extra little punch of flavor. So I'm going to add some into there. And this is just that regular Himalayan sea salt, whatever, mountain salt, whatever you want to call it. Give that a go. Hopefully we won't fry ourselves up. It says lamb cubes, but the cubes are more different shape than just cubed. And not surprisingly, the lamb is like well done. I mean, it is very chewy. So don't expect a tender lamb stew. It does say that there's some onion and garlic powder in there as well, which is why I didn't add any. But just adding that hint of salt on there just kind of accentuated it and just gave it another nice flavor profile. Let's try our apple slices. I'm expecting these to be crisp because they're relatively new. Nice little sauce inside as well. It doesn't have that crack when you bite into that apple, but however, these taste significantly better than the spiced apples that you would get into a US MRE. They're very flavorful, has that nice apple tart tanginess to them. Those are good. And it's almost like the perfect accent. You have this nice, hot, scalding meal, and you get that cooling effect from your sliced apples. Very complimentary. Let's take a look at the dental work. I mean, the teriyaki beef jerky. Now, the key to this is don't be in a hurry to gobble this down. Just toss it in your mouth. Let it kind of slightly rehydrate a little bit. It gets a little chewy, and then that nice beef jerky kind of flair to it. And one of the benefits of just holding it in your mouth and just savoring that flavor, it takes it a little while to soften up, which means you can't gobble this stuff down. Well, I guess you can, but it's not like that Jack Link's steak bar or the beef jerky sticks that you get in the US MRE that you can just like wolf that oily mess down. You can gobble it down if you want, but it just, fuck, man. Which just means that you can take your time eating that. Well, let's take a look at our tropical trail mix. See what we've got all into this. It's like we got a little mango, a little bit of pineapple, sunflower. Well, I guess that's peanut, cashew. We'll see what else we got in here. And I guess this is actually papaya instead of mango. So, papaya. For most people in the Canadian forests I've talked to, they just kind of eat this stuff right out of the packet. They don't usually make like a PB&J or something like that. So we're going to do one or two things. We're going to eat half of this with our lamb stew, and the other half just PB&J. Just so we say that we can do it. Oh. Gonna try to let some of this sauce just settle in to those nooks and crannies. Let it absorb in. And we're just gonna let this sit right over here. Make a PB&J with this one. Yep, now we made a right mess out of that. Let's give that, God, that looks horrible. Let's give that a try. That's pretty good. You get that nice peanutty, creamy texture from the peanut butter and that sweetness from that raspberry jam. Ah, that's good. Ah, now we got our spoon cleared off. Giving this enough time, you can see it has kind of poured into some of those nooks and crannies. And let's give this one a taste. We'll just try this side first. Oh, that's really good. Not dropping stuff off of it, that sucks, but this actually good because that sauce, this stew, just absorbs into all those nooks and crannies. I don't know if any of you had like that roast beef sandwich with the gravy poured on top of that nice bread, and it just kind of all turns that bread into a sponge. That's exactly what that does. Pretty tasty. And the last thing we had to sample is our coffee crisp bar. And there's nothing better to eat this with than some legit coffee. Mmm. Yum. Lukewarm 3-in-1 coffee. Well, you can't say that this is not straight up traditional Army right here. Because that's about as hot as coffee you're going to get out in the field. Now let's give this baby a try. And you can look in here, you can see like that little wafer filling. It's nice, crunchy, crispy, and then it's got that filling in here. Most of it is cocoa with just the slightest hint of coffee flavor added onto it. In fact, I think coffee is like the 5th less used ingredient, or the 5th to the last of this, but they are good. They are filling, and let's just give it a dip. Kind of let that absorb into that, yeah. And just imagine if your coffee was nice and hot, it would kind of like melt this chocolate a little bit, turn it into some creamy, yummy goodness. Man, well, Well, everybody, this was menu number 19 of a 2019 IMP lamb and vegetable stew. Sent in from Bill from London, Ontario, Canada. Thanks, Bill, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to chat on the rest of this for my lunch. And I will see you all on an upcoming review.